Welcome to our channel, a place specializing in thrilling, dramatic and creepy fictional stories, with dark secrets buried deep in the past. Here, we not only tell stories, but also take you to the end of fear, where the line between reality and fantasy becomes blurred, and every detail carries a chilling warning. If you are a fan of mystery, spirituality and conspiracies hidden deep in the dark, then you have come to the right place. Keep your spirits up, because today's story will make you unable to take your eyes off. The atmosphere in Darwin town has become increasingly suffocating since the mysterious gate once again opened after many years of being sealed. The wind quietly blows through the western forest, where countless deadly secrets were buried. And in the darkness of the past, a shocking truth is rising, silently threatening to sweep away everything that remains of a seemingly peaceful family. Jacob has always lived on the fringes of every relationship. He is not the type of person that everyone loves, but no one dares to openly despise. His cold personality, sharp eyes, and habit of observing in silence make him the most dangerous person that no one really cares about. However, that is what helps him discover a shocking secret related to Nicole, the girl that the whole town thinks is Vernon's only remaining blood after the tragic accident that year. Nicole grew up in Vernon's discreet but strict protection. He loves her as if she is the last light that keeps him sane in the persistent darkness of nameless memories. But it is that unconditional love that makes everything suspicious in Jacob's eyes. He began to notice the gaps in Nicole's life story, the missing medical records, the times Vernon dodged the mention of her biological mother. Then one day, fate handed him irrefutable proof: Nicole was not Vernon's biological child. The secret was not revealed in the usual way. It came from an old medical file stored in the basement of the town hospital, a place that should have been destroyed in a huge fire years ago. Jacob had been searching there for a completely different reason, but when Nicole's name appeared on a DNA test marked top secret, he immediately knew that what he held in his hands could change everything, not just for Nicole, but for Vernon and the portal that was about to move. From that moment on, Jacob's mind began to make complex calculations. He did not rush, did not act rashly. Instead, he approaches Nicole silently, sowing every trace of doubt in her heart, leading her step by step into a maze of fear and disorientation. And when she has no more support, Jacob begins the real game, an elaborate blackmail game, aimed not only at money but also at Nicole's spirit, honor, and even her sealed memories. What makes Jacob different is not that he knows the secret, but how he uses it like a double-edged sword, on the one hand, threatening to expose everything, on the other hand, creating the illusion that he is the only one who can help Nicole escape the disaster. He makes repeated demands: cash, silence in front of Vernon, even cooperation in reopening the gate, which has swallowed many souls into darkness. Nicole is pushed into a cruel psychological war. She cannot trust Jacob, but she cannot reveal anything to Vernon. She knew that if the secret got out, everything would fall apart: trust, family, even life. But what terrified Nicole the most was not the fact that she was not Vernon's biological child, it was the feeling deep in her heart that maybe Vernon had never really known. Had he always known, and was just pretending not to know? Or was Vernon hiding something more sinister? While Nicole struggled to come to terms with Jacob's increasingly bold demands, strange things began to happen in the town of Darwin. People reported hearing strange calls from the gates at night. Some people disappeared without a trace, leaving their rooms wide open with long scratches on the wooden floors. And in Nicole's dreams, a shadowy face appeared more and more clearly, a strange woman with mournful eyes, whispering words she couldn't understand, but felt eerily familiar. Jacob, who seems to have everything under control, is also being sucked into a larger scheme by the portal. What he thought was victory begins to feel like a burden as he is haunted by visions of a bloody arm reaching out from the crack, of numbers appearing on a mirror whenever he looks into it, and the cries of a child he has never seen before. He tries to stay calm, but little by little, his mind begins to crack. Meanwhile, Nicole finds an old diary hidden under Vernon's bed. The handwritten scribbles describe a sealing ritual, a soul swap, and a child sent to save or destroy all. Each entry is like a dagger to her heart, is she not only Vernon's adopted child, but also part of some kind of ritual? Was the blood flowing through her not human blood, but something paid for by the spirits of the portal? Nicole could not breathe every time she turned a new page in the tattered diary. It was not only a record of Vernon's obsession, pain, and loss of control, but also proof that she was at the center of a sinful circle that had been hidden for too long. The words screamed through each page, "The child is not blood, but the final sacrifice. If I keep it with me, the portal will sleep. But if the truth is revealed, the portal will claim it." A cold feeling ran down Nicole's spine. In a moment of complete collapse, she understood. Vernon had not adopted her out of compassion, but to seal away an ancient power. She was not his daughter, but a pawn used to silence something much more terrible, something that was always waiting on the other side of the portal. Meanwhile, Jacob continues to push Nicole to the edge. He no longer asks for money, what he wants now is power. With Nicole's roots in his possession, he forces her to help unlock the seals scattered around town. A stone statue under the old church. A clock that stops at 3:13 in the old tower, and especially the strange painting in the museum basement, whose eyes are painted with real blood. No one in town knows it. But by manipulating Nicole, Jacob is slowly breaking down the seals. With each seal removed, time in the town seems to stretch strangely, the whispers become clearer. And the sleep of the townspeople is gradually stolen by strange sleepwalking. One night, 3 children are found standing in the middle of a field, their eyes wide open, repeating the same unintelligible phrase over and over again, "She is the key." But when the gate opens, blood flows. Nicole began to crumble, both mentally and physically. Bruises appeared on her limbs for no reason, her hair fell out, and her joints ached as if her body was rejecting its very existence. But she couldn't stop. If she didn't obey, Jacob would reveal the truth, and Vernon would be forced to choose, continue lying or kill the thing he had once tried to protect. And then came the fateful night when the final seal was removed. The portal glowed blood red, and the ground around the forest began to shake. Jacob, in his triumphant rage, saw himself as the master of fate. He believed that by releasing the thing inside the portal, he would be granted power, eternal life, or at least absolute power over the town. But the thing that emerged from the darkness was unlike any creature in human imagination. Shapeless, it was a combination of sound and fear. As if every nightmare she had ever known had come together here. Jacob screamed, but no sound came from his throat. His whole body felt like it was being sucked into the air, torn apart invisibly. Nicole stood not far away, her whole body stiff, blood streaming from her nose. But what terrified her most was the strange sense of familiarity she felt when she saw the creature, as if it knew her, as if it were a part of her. And then it spoke, not in words, but in memories. Buried images came back, the scream, the blood, a stone room, and the eyes of the woman who had held her. Nicole understood the final truth: she was the creature's biological child. She was not a saved person, but a sacrifice born from a ritual of human dark hybrids. Vernon had not saved her, he had stolen her. The shockwave tore through the sky above the town. The gate opened wide and the souls of hundreds of people who had disappeared began to pour out like a poisonous mist. Everything in the town became chaotic. The clocks stopped. The birds stopped singing, time stretched as if it was about to be crushed. Nicole knew that only she could end it all. She turned back to where the gate was gaping, walking forward in the blood and ash, step by step, despite her body almost disintegrating. She repeated the spell from Vernon's diary, but this time not to seal it, but to sacrifice herself. She was the door, and she had to close it. As soon as Nicole stepped into the heart of the gate, the entire space lit up and then went dark. A silence fell over the town. The wind stopped blowing. The only sound was the sigh of relief from the earth and sky. The next morning, the people woke up as if they had just woken up from a long sleep. No one remembered anything clearly. Nicole's records disappeared from all systems. No one in town mentioned her anymore, as if she had never existed. But deep in the forest, under the roots of an old tree, there was still something, the necklace she had worn, buried in the ground, but still emitting a gentle pulse, like a heart that had not stopped beating. Thank you for accompanying us until the last moments of this story. Don't forget to subscribe and follow the channel to continue discovering the mysteries that have never been revealed, because we still have many scary things waiting for you behind the next gate.